So we've inserted our picture, we've got it sitting where we want it to be. I might make it a little larger so that what I'm about to show you, you can see more clearly. So I'll enlarge this picture. Now some of the things that you can do with a picture on the Picture Tools Format tab in the ribbon, starting with these adjustment options here, is we can change the corrections. When we go into corrections, what you can basically do is rest on these options and they give you varying levels of softness, sharpness, contrast and brightness. So it's really a matter of resting on each option and seeing which one improves the picture. I'm going to go for sharpen 50%, which really does sharpen the detail on this particular photograph. Besides corrections, you've also got color. If I go to the color button, again I can rest on various options such as grayscale, such as sepia, and I've got various washout options and all sorts of different types of color options that I can apply to this particular picture. So I might go for grayscale because I know that this will ultimately be printed in black and white. Besides changing the color, you can also apply artistic effects. If I go to the artistic effects button and again roll on various options, I can apply an artistic effect. This particular artistic effect in the top right corner is a line drawing. I might go for the next one, which is actually a pencil sketch, and it looks like I've actually drawn this particular picture with pencil. And there's the pencil sketch there. And you just roll over these various options and see which one gives you the most useful artistic effect. It can sometimes take a little while to generate the image because it's doing quite a bit of work, as you can well imagine, to show you. And this is photocopy, and this here is particularly interesting, which is cut out. But I might go back to pencil sketch. And I'll just wait for it to show me the update. And there it is there. Besides applying an artistic effect, you can also apply picture styles, and there's a gallery of picture styles here. If I hit the drop down, we have got some picture styles that purely provide a frame. For example, this option here is going to put this picture into a white frame. This one here into a thicker white frame. And I'll actually click it so it shows better. It's going very slow at the moment. If I then go back, I can choose, say, this silver frame here. I'll just click it so it reacts better. And there's soft edging and reflection and a number of different types of styles that you can apply. So I might go for a soft edging. So you can just rest on it typically. I'm having to click and apply a picture style. And there's my soft edging. If, for example, I want to apply a combination of styles, maybe soft edging and a reflection, that's when you want to go into the picture effects. The picture effects allows you to add maybe soft edges, but maybe more soft edging than what you got when you were in the picture styles. So I can choose more soft edging, which gives it a real soft outline, as you can see here. And I might also decide under picture effects to add a reflection. And so I might ask for a really large reflection, which is more than what I get in the picture styles. So you really have to mix and match the picture effects that you're after. And there's my rather large reflection. I might just go undo, undo. So always remember that you've got undo if you're testing out and trying different options until you find something you actually like. And so I'll undo again, and it just undoes the changes I've made. Now if you actually want to reset the picture back to its original, you have got a reset picture button, and you can reset the picture and reset the picture size. I'm just going to reset the picture, and it puts it back to what I originally had. So that's quite handy if you've done quite a bit of playing and you want to get rid of it all. Now another thing you can do is you can crop a picture. So for example, on the Picture Tools Format tab, I have a crop button here. When I click it, I now have unusual placeholders, black placeholders around the outside of my picture. I may decide I only want 3 cans of paint, and this is too many cans. So I'll drag this up and I'll crop this bottom row of paint tins out, and I'll drag this down and I'll drag this in from the left and drag this in from the right. So I'm left with 3 paint tins. And then I'll click the crop button to let Word know that I'm finished cropping. And you can return and crop as many times as you like. Now, having inserted a picture and sized it and cropped it, you may want to actually compress the picture. If I go to compress the pictures, which is a button here on my Picture Tools Format tab, what you can do is you compress just this one picture, and you can delete any cropped areas, because just because you cropped it doesn't mean that that information isn't still there. When you crop a picture and you resize it, it still remembers all the original settings, and that's how come you can reset a picture with this button here. But if we tell it not to delete the cropped areas, and to apply it only to this picture, and to use the document resolution, and OK. Now that picture is compressed and the document won't be so large. If I had a lot of pictures, I'd compress pictures, take off this tick, and it would actually compress all the pictures in my document, which would have a substantial effect on the size of the document. The downside, though, is that when you go to reset the picture, as I'm doing here, you can't reset the picture to its original because you asked it to compress and delete the cropped areas. So be aware of that. Now, the other thing you can do is you can actually remove some background from a picture as well. So I'm going to grab a picture and show you how this is done. I'm going to insert a picture that I have on my desktop called Paint, and I'll insert that. And here it is here. I'll make it larger and resize it so you can clearly see. Now what I'd like to do is get rid of the white background. So I click the picture, and on my Picture Tools Format tab I choose the button Remove Background on the far left. This then gives me a magenta sort of layout. The idea here is anything that's magenta is going to be removed. So I want to mark areas to keep. So I'll choose this area here and choose this area here. Just by dragging, I'm saying that I want to keep certain parts of the picture. This can be sometimes very time consuming depending on your picture, so you just have to exercise some patience. And I'm just going around the rim of this can because I want to keep that, and around the rim of this can. And so it really does pay to increase the zoom level also, or the size of the picture when you're doing this, so you can see as clearly as possible. And I just continue to mark areas that I want to keep, and you notice up in the ribbon that you do have the option to mark areas you want to remove. That's sufficient. That's good enough. And so now what I want to do is keep the changes. If I click Keep Changes, I've removed the background, so it doesn't have that white background anymore. I can resize it so it goes back to being small, and I can set my wrap text to tight. And I didn't have actually, let's set the wrap text. Yes, set the wrap text to tight, and see how it goes tightly around that picture. And so now I've got tight wrap text, and I don't have that white background that I originally started with. Let me pull it back up so you can see that original white background. So I use the remove background to get rid of that white background.